Hey everybody. So as you can see behind me, we are getting ready for our annual challah bake, all set up there. But before we get to the challah bake, let's talk about something related to this week's parsha, and that is the topic, do you have a favorite child? Do you have a favorite child? If you have children, if you have more than one children, or if you grew up in a family with siblings, did your parents seem to have a favorite child? So there is a publication called the Nashville Parent. And the Nashville Parent says, research says you may. Ask almost anyone with a brother or sister, and you'll likely find a debate. Who's the favorite child? A new study out of Brigham Young University, published January 16th of this year, sheds a little light on that playful rivalry, showing how parents may show favoritism based on birth order, personality, and gender. The study out of BYU School of Family Life found that younger siblings generally will receive more favorable treatment from their mom and dad. I was the youngest of four, and my siblings might say that. My children definitely say that about our youngest. Continuing, in addition, older siblings are often given more autonomy, and parents are less controlling towards them as they get older. So this new study that deals with this dynamic is not new at all, because in this week's Parsha Toldot, we see this dynamic taking place. And the Parsha talks about the birth of Yaakov and Esav, twins. And it tells us that the children grew, and Esav was Ish Yodea Tzayid. Esav was a person who knew how to hunt. Ish Sadeh, he was out in the fields. Yaakov, his twin brother, on the other hand, was Ish Tam Yoshevo Halim. He was a simple, straight, basic kind of guy who liked to dwell in tents. And then it then continues and goes on and says, V'yehav Yitzchak et Esav, that Yitzchak loved Esav because of this hunt that he would eat from, and Rivka ohevet et Yaakov, and Rivka loved Yaakov, Jacob. So clearly, way before this Nashville study from Brigham Young University came along, thousands of years ago, the Torah recognized that yes, there is favoritism. It is natural in a certain sense. Is it ideal? That's a different situation. That's a different discussion. But it's natural. We see from the very, very beginnings of the Jewish people, early on in the Chumash, in the Bible, that we have two children with very different personalities, even though they're twins, and even though they grow up in the same home, but still they have very different personalities. And based on those different personalities, you have Yitzchak, the dad, showing favoritism toward Esav, and Rivka, the mom, having more of a connection and showing favoritism, if you will, to Yaakov. Yeah, that's just natural. So what do? It did create its tensions. It created its problems. It's not ideal. So what do? So the simple point is that you have to just recognize that it's a fact of life, that this is just a reality. The Torah talks about these great, great people, and they had their favoritism based on the personalities of their children. But here's the key point. You might relate to one child more than another based on different factors, based on natural personalities. Yitzchak had a thing for the outdoors. When it says that he prayed, from last week's Parsha, it says, Salu Basadeh, he was praying out in the field. His connection to spirituality is field-oriented, it's outdoors-oriented. Therefore, naturally, the son that exhibits and expresses that, he's going to feel more of a natural connection with. So yeah, you're going to relate to different children differently. And you're going to relate more to one child than another. But here's the key. You love them both the same. The love has to be equal. The relationship and connection might be different, but the love has to be equal. Will there be favoritism? Yeah. When we grew up, me and my three older brothers, it was kind of like an understood. Reuben, the oldest, He was the most favorite child of my father. Why? We understood why. Ever since the age of 15, he worked with my dad. It was natural. We got it. We accepted it. We joked about it even, in a certain sense. So yeah, parents are going to show favoritism to different kids based on experiences, personalities, etc. But the love for each of us, that was equal. We felt that equally from our mother and father to all of us, despite the different personalities and different dynamics. And that's the key. And so yeah, the child that you might relate to less naturally, you might have to make a bigger effort. Not might, you have to make a bigger effort to connect with him and find those common grounds. But the love is the same. The love that a parent, and that's why you have to express it to the child that you don't connect with naturally so much, that's the one that you have to go overboard, if you will, in showing the love. So, again, this new study from Nashville isn't so new. We knew it all along from the Torah for thousands of years. We relate to different children differently, but we love them all the same. Have a good Shabbat.